Hello, everyone, and welcome to the session on COA at Confectionery Live. Really happy to get this chance to share a little bit the journey that we as COA had in the last 5 years. My name is Andrea Werdin. I'm the marketing director at COA since the early days. And together with the COA team, I built up our impact business in Ghana and in Switzerland. COA is a startup founded in 2017. And at COA, it's all about creating impact. We were initially looking at how can we enhance the livelihood of cocoa farmers in rural Ghana, and came across the cocoa fruit, which was until now not really used. Most of it was wasted, only the beans were used. And we thought, hey, that tastes really nice. So why not upcycling the cocoa fruit into tasty treats and create an additional income for farmers and create social impact in Ghana? So this is how it started. And in this session, I will share our journey, share a little bit about the social impact that we have in Ghana, and also how we upcycle the cocoa fruit, how our process looks like, and what are the products that result from it. And then what can you make with those cocoa fruit ingredients? So I'm going to give you there an overview, and at the end I will also share a little bit of the challenges that we have as we market these cocoa fruit products, and also how we overcome this and what we think is important. So let's dive in. Here a quick summary of our agenda that I just explained. And yes, good. So for COA, at the core, we always have the people we work with. We really want to empower the people, all our stakeholders, internally and externally, which means our direct employees, but also all the people, the partners, the farmers we work with in our supply chain. So our goal was always to create social impact in West Africa as we research food innovations, and that's what brought us to the cocoa fruit. But before we look at the cocoa fruit, I would like to start with the social impact, what we actually aim for in Ghana, so, because that is really the core of our motivation. At COA, we work directly with smallholders. Our goal is to increase the income and to add value in rural Ghana. As we upcycle the cocoa fruit, we use something that has so far not really been used. So we use the cocoa pulp that surrounds the beans, and that's how we increase the income of cocoa farmers. And by using an additional raw material that is already existing, but so far hasn't been really used, we also diversify their income and use more of the potential that a plantation already inhabits. At the same time, our social impact not only looks at the farmers, but also at our employees. We have currently a team of 60 people in Ghana, working directly together with the smallholders and processing the fresh cocoa fruit. And we are now aiming at hiring 250 additional people in Ghana as we open our next factory, which is planned for this August. That's really exciting. And with this new factory, we can benefit an additional 10,000 smallholders in Ghana. So this is for us a huge milestone, and we are super excited about scaling our impact business this year. But how does our business, how do we work in our business? How do we upcycle the cocoa fruit? And yes, how does our operations look like? Before we look at this exactly, I just want to highlight that using the cocoa pulp doesn't only have a benefit for the people working in the supply chain, but it's also very, very important for the planet. I'm sure that many have by now learned that the cocoa has one of the worst carbon footprints in the food industry. And that is due to the poor land use and farm activities, not using the potential that is there efficiently. And chocolate then obviously results with a high carbon footprint, but already cocoa itself has a very high carbon footprint, and this needs to change. There's more and more awareness coming to this, and it won't be long until consumers wake up, and chocolate could be the new avocado or the new palm oil, and we now have the chance to take action and to change something about it. So what can we change? We can use more of what's already in the cocoa farm. Cocoa pulp is one example, but there is so much more. So currently we also look at how can we use the cocoa husk and reduce the carbon emissions further per fruit. And then, of course, with guaranteeing that there is no deforestation and also supporting agroforestry systems, we can further bring down the carbon footprint of cocoa. So these are just a couple of examples. Important is that all the puzzle pieces come together, and that people also take action along the supply chain within the cocoa industry. But now let's have a look how we actually upcycle the cocoa fruit, and for this I will share a video. Good. And to make sure that you got all of the good information in the video, I quickly summarize how our process looks like. So we have a decentralized process. That means that processing steps happen in different places. The fruits are opened on the cocoa farm by the farmers and then transported by our team from the farm to our so-called CMPU, Community Mobile Processing Unit. This is a unit that is mobile and solar powered, which we can move from community to community to be really close to the farms. We set it up every morning close to the farms and source from the surrounding cocoa farms. We then extract the juice at this processing station and afterwards return the beans together with the payment. So the farmer is paid directly on the day of production and via mobile money. At the same time, or after the juice extraction, we then rush back to our factory with the freshly extracted juice, where we pasteurize and package it. To give you another picture of our CMPU, this is our CMPU standing next to a cocoa farm in the beautiful green Ghana scenery. And this is a picture of our first factory in Assinapperfum, where we further pasteurize the juice and package it for sales. It's currently being used in the country, but also exported to Europe. Then what results from these cocoa fruit products? Our focus is B2B, so we sell our ingredients to the food and beverage industry internationally, but also the gastronomy, currently in Europe, and looking into expanding also to other continents. As our customers use the cocoa fruit ingredients, they are able to tick off a couple of boxes with COA and support consumers in with their needs. All COA products are completely natural. There's no added sugar. The entire sweetness is natural. It's plant-based. It's also considered a brain fuel due to the antioxidants and the magnesium. It's fully transparent. I'm going to come to this at the end, but to the end of the presentation again, why it's so transparent. And it can also be considered a circular food or ethic food. So it ticks off a couple of boxes. Also looking at the annual report of Hanni Rützler, a researcher from the German-speaking, or very famous in the German-speaking area, and to highlight just how perfectly cocoa fruit products fit in the into current market trends. But of course, what we also have to be aware of is that at the moment, the price sensitivity is coming into the market landscape, or into the landscape we work in, and this is something that I will address later when we come to the challenges. Now, what products do we offer exactly? So we have products at the moment. We have pure cocoa fruit juice, which we call COA Pure. Then we have COA Concentrate with 50 bricks or 72 bricks. And we also have COA Powder, which is dried cocoa fruit. All products are completely natural. And what can you do with each product? With COA Pure, the juice, it's obviously ideal for beverages due to it being liquid. You can mix it into cocktails, mocktails, any beverages, but also it's great for sorbet due to the pectin. It has a really nice mouthfeel, which makes it a little bit more creamy than the ordinary sorbet. So really nice and ideal, especially for veganized applications. If we have a look at the COA Concentrate, our newest product in our portfolio, the COA Concentrate 50 bricks is great for ganache, buttercream, and also ice cream, again with the pectin, making it really nicely creamy and very fruity and sweet at the same time. Our COA Concentrate with 72 bricks is ideal also for beverages, especially in the industry, but it's also great for really intense fillings such as chocolate fillings and other confectionery goods. It's also good as a sweetener or a flavoring part in granola bars or other dry confectionery products. But obviously, when we look at dry applications, then COA Powder is the ideal ingredient because it's perfect to use for COA bliss balls, or for bliss balls, for also flakes coating We call it cocoa flakes when you coat the cocoa powder with chocolate, or it's also great to sweeten chocolate itself. I'm going to show you an example of this on the next slide. Lindt has done this. They have replaced the sugar in their cacao pour through the cocoa powder, and like that created a product that only comes from the cocoa fruit or from the cocoa pod. We have Venki, a customer that created an ice cream with the juice in Italy, and yeah, a really nice vegan gelato experience. Then we have Oberweis that creates various products such as cakes, caramel, ice cream, pralines, ganache with all of our products. We have Velchlin that also offers a couverture where they replaced the sugar with one of the cocoa products, so a product entirely from the cocoa pod again. We have Kumasi in the Netherlands, a startup that created a soda made from the juice mixed with water. We have Sprüngli in Switzerland, Confiserie Sprüngli that creates macarons or ganache pralines with different cocoa products. And then we have Padrona that sells our concentrate to the food service industry internationally. Again, and opening up plenty of new applications. And then we have Urban Lemonade, a Swiss beverage maker that uses it to flavor their lemonade. Good. But now, away from too much product information, let's have a look at where do we have the challenges, and also where do we see opportunities as we market cocoa fruit products. In the last 5 years, we, as a startup, we are obviously always very motivated to tell our story, and we are super passionate about it, and people around us are also very excited about it. But at the end of the day, we just realized that doesn't matter how great your story is. In the end, taste is king. If the taste is not absolutely bulletproof, then the story alone doesn't help. So once you can assure your customers, and so they can also offer, once you can assure your customers that you have a product that really supports a great taste and prioritizes indulgence, then it's also much likely to become a successful consumer product. If the taste was not really top notch. And then the story comes in, and it's the special something. It's the cherry on the cake that then makes it something unique. But for us, we realize that taste is really king, and is the top priority when working with cocoa fruit products or any other new products, we think. And that also goes then, that leads me to consumer awareness. It's really important to increase the consumer awareness, because cocoa fruit is still a very new flavor. People do not yet know what it is. And often if consumers are not sensitized or prepared for this sweet and citrusy, sometimes acidic flavor, then they're confused, and that doesn't sell well. So in order to support consumers becoming loyal consumers and buy again, we really need to increase the awareness. We need to educate the people on the cocoa fruit and its new flavors to make it easy to understand. And that is something that I see in the entire cocoa fruit now movement worldwide, that many brands struggle with marketing their cocoa fruit products because it's just very new and consumers don't know what it is. So here, I see the challenge for the entire cocoa fruit market to push for more consumer awareness. And then the price sensitivity that I mentioned earlier, that definitely has put some pressure on everyone, has increased a lot over the last 12 months. And this is definitely a challenge for any new product, not just cocoa fruit, but any new product that is not yet scaled. And so for our case, with our new factory, we have the chance to also stay competitive with alternative fruit products and sweeteners, as we can lower the prices through economies of scales. And then last but not least, what I see crucial when marketing cocoa fruit products or other new ingredients is building trust. I think this is something that is that shouldn't be a surprise to anyone here. Everybody knows very well how important it is. So I would like to share how we approach this topic, how we became radically transparent as we built a new system. So here is the example of our transparency system. Last year, I think it was last year, we launched the system together with our partner C-Trace, a company from Berlin, that helped us to publish all payments that we make to farmers. So every payment to cocoa farmer is visible for consumers to see and to track, and that makes it really brutally transparent. And with this system, we just want to be a pioneer, and we want to show an example how far you can go when speaking of transparency and traceability. And this is a system that we don't just keep for ourselves, but it's also something that we then offer to our customers. So here's an example of Oberweis. If the QR code is scannable, please feel free to scan it. And you would then end up on the page of Oberweis where all of the payments made to farmers are visible, and some additional information on impact and transparency. And also the product journey is also on that page. So this is an example how we follow a transparent approach. Highly recommend to check out C-Trace and our page here. It's really radical, and yeah, people really like that somebody's shaking up the whole transparency thing a little bit more than usual, and letting consumers really witness all of the entire impact by themselves. Good. And that is it for the challenge opportunities. And maybe just to wrap up, what's next for COA? We are opening our new factory soon. Our factory is progressing, and we will finally open our new cocoa fruit factory in August. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me.
Thank you so much, Andrea, for that presentation. I just wanted to understand from you, first and foremost, as a startup that's been around since 2017, what was the inspiration? Could you tell me more about COA's story?
So for COA, when we started COA, for us, what was important to us was improving the livelihoods of cocoa farmers, because as we all know, the poverty is just not going away, and the cocoa farmers in Ghana just live far below the poverty line, not reaching the living income. And so we thought, how can we boost the local economy? How can we increase their income? And and create new jobs, which then again supports the economy, all on the countryside. That was always the focus, while also building a business on this triple bottom line: people, planet, profit. For us, it was always about a sustainable business idea that benefits us as a company, with our employees and the stakeholders around us. And that was where COA originated. And we looked at other ideas which didn't really work out, always in combination with solar. And then we came across the cocoa pulp and thought, wow, that tastes great. Let's do something out of it.
Yeah, it was amazing to see in your presentation the products that can come out of it. It does make me wonder whether when people think of cocoa pulp, they think that's not something I ever want to eat. But then you look at the ganache and you look at the ice cream. And so have you ever had that kind of response when you approach people and you tell them about what you're doing?
Yeah, people first, they expect something brown, chocolatey, that maybe also tastes like chocolate or cocoa. And they're then like really surprised how like sweet it tastes and citrusy, and you have these honey notes and lychee and pear, but far away from cocoa or chocolate. So I get first there's there's some people are a little bit hesitant, but I love the moment when this changes and when people get like really excited with like the first sip. And I wish I could now like give you all like one glass of cocoa fruit juice to try.
Oh, please.
But it's really beautiful when people are first hesitant. They try a little bit and you can just like see like the smiles are coming out and they're like, wow, I didn't imagine it tastes like this. This is amazing. And they try to describe it. It tastes like lychee, or a lychee, or it tastes like pear. So the responses are generally very positive. But I think it's also human. I think the majority of humans is hesitant when it comes to new products. So I think it's also normal that people hesitate at first. But luckily, people are also, like to try in the end.
Yeah, I guess it's part of the challenge in convincing people that what you've got is something delicious and not just something weird and unfamiliar and what they might think. Just final question. You spoke about transparency. Do you think data will play a greater role in ensuring transparency, showing people simply facts and figures where their money's going? Do you think that will be the way forward?
Yeah, and I think there is a big difference between our system and conventional transparency systems when it comes to data. I didn't want to go too much into detail because it's a very complex topic, but maybe to summarize it in a very simple way. So we use blockchain to also guarantee some trust and transparency, etc. But blockchain as a tool doesn't help if you have a person inputting data. So this is where we make the difference. We use data that comes from the mobile money transactions. So it's always a digital input, and never a human inputting stuff, because that would be manipulative or could be. So for us, it's really important to eliminate this risk and to go completely digital. And when we speak of data, really go only the digital way, from the input to the blockchain. And this is how we think, at the moment at least, is one of the most transparent systems in the cocoa industry.
Well, that is really interesting. Thank you so much, Andrea. If, as you mentioned, anyone would like to reach out to Andrea and have any further questions, please do.
Great. Thank you so much, Caitlin.